welcome to the Two Drunk Flings vodcast team talk for the Halflings. My name is Liam. I am one of the hosts of the Two Drunk Flings, and I am also known as A Up My Duck, or A Up Me Duck on the NAF website. I am joined with fellow newbie Tom. Well, I'm not newbie.
Oh, yeah? Colossus Thunder on the NAF.
And I am also joined by the new person, well, like, how can we say it? You're a tournament organizer, helper. You're also a law writing, the law writing magazine.
Yeah, Gridiron Gazette. That's me.
Exactly. Yeah. So with Alistair.
Hello. I'm Alistair. I'm Wobbit on the NEF, and as Liam said, I write the Gridiron Gazette once a month. If anyone reads that.
Excellent. So we're going to be talking about the Halflings. Now, again, we are starting to do these team talks only for the fact that there's certain people out on YouTube, and they're definitely new. I'm not going to say who, but they're definitely new people, and they're giving people advice on teams and things like that. So I'm going to go straight out and say we are not professional, right? I am not like the best coach in the world. Alistair is, right? No. But no. But so before you watch this video, the experience that we've got. So I'm going to explain is I've got 120, 130-ish NAF games under my belt. I've been to 2 World Cups. I've been to 3 Euro Bowls. I've played so much tabletop tournaments. It's unreal. I've been in over 20 leagues. I've won 2. I've won countless Stunty Cups and all sorts of stuff. So I've got a fair bit of knowledge. Tom, what's your Blood Bowl knowledge?
Well, I'm fortunately the new guy, so I can ask all of the stupid questions that other new people wouldn't know the answers to, but are too afraid to ask. So I am test subject ground zero for Blood Bowl, apart from the Xbox, which I've played for, or Xbox and PC, which I've played for about 4 years, but I've never played the physical one.
Awesome. And then, Alistair, what's your Blood Bowl knowledge? What'd you say? Connoisseur?
Yeah, it's not bad. So I played since 2nd edition. So I think I started in '88. So I've been playing for 30-something years. So which makes me obviously old. So I've been playing since then. I had a wee break and then came back into it when Blood Bowl, the computer game, the first Cyanide game, was launched. And it's been expensive ever since then.
Excellent. So we got. I mean, between us, we've got quite a lot of knowledge. If you want some more Blood Bowl tactics, check out our good friend Andy Davo. He is absolutely amazing when it comes to tactics. There's also Kay Fogged as well, who is to me one of the best. He is one of the best coaches in the world, and fantastic to watch. And both of those two, if you really, really want to get deep into your Blood Bowl, don't listen to this video and sod off and go and listen to them. But this is just to help you guys. If you're going into a TT tournament, if you're going to a league and you're starting and you're brand new to Blood Bowl, this is definitely the place that you need to be. So we're going to talk about the first team, which will be Halflings. Why Halflings? Because I fucking love Halflings. Like, I absolutely love them. They're OP now. In the new 2020, they are absolutely OP. And people are sitting there going, they're still something. No. They shouldn't be stunty, and a lot of tournaments are saying that they are not stunty because of the stars, which it makes sense. Judging by the first, so I'm going to give you both my first TT. This is the tabletop tournament. I'm going to be taking Halflings, and this is my roster, and this is 2020 rules, by the way. 2 trees, and this is 1,105 TV. So if you guys are brand new and you do go to a tournament, the average tournament will give you 1,105 TV. Yeah, that's the new TV build. It's usually 1,100, but it's usually 1,105 now, or 1,110. It depends, but we're going to do 1,105. My first 100% you need is your 9 Halflings and your 2 trees. Because you need to have that. A tournament will not allow you to have a normal team without the 9 Halflings and 2 trees. And you're thinking, why not the positionals? Because we're not going to get into that yet. So I'm going to take I always do the 9 Halflings and 2 trees. Always. I always start with that. After, you go to your chef. You have to take a chef. Always. It is a must. Do not take a halfling team to any tournament or league if you are not going to be able to field a chef, and we'll get into that in the league as well. So that is a must. Thirdly, your stars. You build your team, so you get your team up, and then it is all about stars with halflings. It is 100%. To me, I'm hoping these two will say completely different, but it is all about the stars. It's about building your team around them to create your team that's comfortable for you. So for me, the 2 stars that I would take, and a lot of people say no, which I don't know why, because I've got 73 NAF games with Flings. That's TT, by the way, and 73 NAF games with them. And Griff at the moment is a must instead of, well, you can't take Zara anymore. So it's Griff and Carla. So my tournament build for everybody is 9 halflings, 2 trees, Griff, Zara, and a chef. No re-rolls because you can't afford them. Sometimes you might be able to squeeze in. So then you'll go, what about the catchers and the hefties? You can, if you can squeeze a catcher in, 1 catcher. If you can squeeze 1 hefty in, take a hefty. That is your gameplay and that is your choice. So you've got 2 choices. You hefty.
I've got that in my list. That's what I've managed in my list. So I've taken out 2 of the hopefuls for a hefty and a catcher, with pretty much the same list with Carla, Griff, and the chef.
Fantastic.
Just give me bang on the exact amount.
That is bang on.
Boringly, mine's exactly the same, because even though Flings
there
got
we go.
a choice of 10 stars now.
Yes, they do.
I mean, a huge choice, but you wouldn't take most of them.
This is true.
You know, back in the day, everybody went deep root, which I know, Liam, you had views on. But,
Yeah.
but actually, even though he's Mighty Blow +2, he's kind of been left behind a bit now, because Griff, it's all about Griff.
It's all about Griff.
I mean, that guy is a monster. So if you can field him in almost any team without ruining the team to field him, why wouldn't you? Exactly.
100%. It is a must. I mean, if you can field Griff. So if I've mentioned this on the last podcast. I played with Griff with the Halflings, and I'm on a ridiculous win of like 13 wins with the Halflings, and that is with Griff and Carla, because Griff complements Carla, the Halflings complement Griff, and the trees just balance it all out completely. So your trees are defending, Griff's got the ball and he's running up and down the field, he's got fend, which is just a nightmare. If someone's blitzing you, you're like, see you later, mate, you have got nothing on him. Carla's your blitzer to, like, Griff runs up the pitch, Carla runs up to blitz someone off, your Halflings cover Griff, your trees are at the back throwing stuff. And the fact is that now Halflings can ricochet and ricochet. You're throwing them and they're ricocheting and hitting people. You've got cannon fodder. So you keep your Halflings at the back. Your trees throw your Halflings. Griff's running up and down scoring. Carla's being a bitch and just smashing everyone to pieces. It's not pretty.
No.
It's not at all. And a lot of tournaments have turned around and said that they are not stunty when you take 2 stars now because of that. And I mean, what do you think about that, Alistair? I mean, Frud is saying Halflings aren't stunty if you take 2 stars.
Yeah, I agree. I have to say, I mean, I think if you give them another strength 5 guy and another strength 2, stunty guy, then fair enough. It keeps that whole stunty theme and balance, doesn't it? But as soon as you put in a strength 4, edge 4 blodger with Fenn, movement 8, it's like, goodbye.
But exactly. I mean, you've got Carla as well. Carla's block and dodge. She's block, dodge. She's got jump up. She's movement.
Strength 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you basing?
Exactly.
My question was then, what are you basing on what is stunty? Because something like an ogre team has multiple ogres, and also Goblin team has.
Well, but it's the negative traits as well that go with
high strength. So what are you gauging as to why Halflings are stunty, or not stunty, but ogres or / goblins with high strength weapons are?
It's the 2 extra characters which make the 2 positionals extra. So if you've got it used to be 2 trees and the Halflings, and then the stars weren't that good. They were good, but they weren't OP. Like, you had the strength 7 deep root, then you had the strength 3 Puggy. So Puggy wasn't that big, and Deeproot wasn't that fast, so it kind of balanced it out. But to have, it's like Alistair said, a movement 8 and a movement 7, both strength 4, both block and dodge, both just fucking monsters running up and pitch, and having the 2 trees involved as well. That's having that's a normal lineup. That's you put a human team, they don't even have options like that. It's brutal. It's a strong line, and I think that's where the line draws. It's like the Snotlings. They should not, if they've got any star, they shouldn't be a stunty. I mean, Hackflem with the Snotlings. That's on another podcast because that's just.
Yeah. But I think that's going to be the theme, isn't it, of Blood Bowl 2020?
Yeah.
There will be 3 stars, I think, who you will see all the time. Griff, because he's now so cheap and so bloody good.
Yeah.
Hackflem can play for anyone who's vaguely nasty. And then you've got Morg.
Yeah.
Morg,
It's cheaper.
Mighty Blow +2 and block is insane. I mean, if he has a good half, you've won the game because bang, +2 to that dice roll. Goodbye, bang.
See, a lot of people said that. A lot of people did say, "Well, why wouldn't you try and squeeze in Morg and Deeproot in a league game?" So I mean, I think we all quite happily agree. I'll tell you what, we'll go into that. So we're going to talk about the TT. So we've actually all 3 of us agreed with to take to any tournament. It is Griff, Carla, Chef.
But if you took Deeproot, would you still be stunty?
Yes.
Yes.
So you could go and try and win the stunty cap and just keep Deeproot and go from there.
Well, this is the thing, right? This is the thing with Thrud, and this is the thing with a lot of tournaments. If you take Morg and Deeproot, which I don't think you can, but if you manage to, do you still stunty? But if you take Griff and Carla, you're not.
Why? Sorry, I'm still confused.
Well, I think a big part of it, to me, comes down to ball control, isn't it? Because if you take Deeproot and Morg,
yeah,
they don't carry the ball. I mean, you could give it to Morg, but generally speaking, they don't carry the ball. Whereas Carla and Griff, you give them the ball, good luck getting it back. So
what about
that makes
Brack
sense.
And Crumbleberry then, as well, because one of them carries a ball and the other one can thump people.
Yeah,
it gets a bit dicey at that point.
But I don't think you'd ever take them on a halfling team, would you? Because it just gives you more of what you've already got. You've got a guy who can kick somebody. You can already throw them better with 2 trees, and another halfling. Well, you've got shitloads of them. So
doesn't give you the opportunity to kick, and it doesn't count as a pass, so you can kick and throw in the same turn.
Yeah, but that's kind of desperation stuff, though.
Yeah, you wouldn't. And I mean, I don't think I've ever come across that in all the games I've had that I would have to do something like that. I don't think that's.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe,
then you're planning for an eventuality that's going to happen once, twice a game.
Exactly.
Whereas if you've got someone like Morg or Griff, who you're going to blitz with virtually every single turn.
Yeah.
Because strength 4, block, might blow on one of them.
Exactly.
It's consistent use.
And that's what
stunty basically comes from being able to carry the ball. If your star players can carry the ball, then you're not stunty. But if you've got 2 massive guys smashing people in the face, that is stunty.
No, I agree with Alistair, and I'll tell you what, it's actually opened it up to me a little bit because if I'm looking at it now as I'm not looking at it as strength, because if you've got the ogres and you've got strength 5, they've all got bonehead, which is massive. That just destroys them. But if you've got you take ogres and you can take Hackflem with ogres. All of a sudden you just think, fuck! Imagine that you've got a movement 9, add 5 technically. Running up and down the pitch. Yeah. It's mayhem.
It's really about speed and reliability, isn't it?
Exactly. It's good.
I mean, ogres are strong, but they've got bonehead. They, generally speaking, don't have block. Maybe league play for ogres in Blood Bowl 2020 will be different because block's going to be easier, so who knows. But overall, though, stars like Hackflem and Griff, they just give you so much because they're strong, they're fast, they're reliable. They can do a bit of everything.
It's a game changer, a massive game changer. It's huge. So I'm happy with that. I mean, we've all agreed. 2 trees, Griff, Carla, no rerolls and a chef. 1,105. Or, so just this is what we're going to do now. So and if you can squeeze in a catcher and a hefty, so you'll have your 9 halflings, take them off. But you do that right at the end. If you can field those 2 stars, the chef and everything, then you start tweaking it a little bit. So skills in a tournament situation, I would easily, and people would, this is the fun part with halflings. It's completely different. I would sure feet the shit out of every single one of them. Now, even the catcher. If there's a chance to give me an edge 4, it goes on the catcher. Any tournament you go to and there's an edge booster, you take that. The first thing you do is you take that and you stick it on your catcher, because that is nearly an instant reroll. That's an instant 1-turner. And that is where you're going to be getting it. Turn 8, hot second half, you got, I can't do anything. Let's just throw a halfling. He's dodging on stunty, so he's dodging on 3. But no, he's an edge 4, so he'll be dodging on 2 pluses. He's landing on a 3. If you get a not a wildly inaccurate. If you get a perfect throw, he's landing on. Yeah, just it's not nice. And you can re-roll any time you want now. That is almost an instant 1-turner, and that's what you'll be saving your chef rolls for. So it's, for me, it's sure feet. It makes my halflings movement 7, because obviously it's only a 2+. I mean, it's rare that you'd roll the 1, and if you do, you get to re-roll it. It's fine, 7+. Obviously, you move them right at the end of the turn. So you never use it right at the beginning, because you could balls that up. But then you stick that on a catcher. So the catcher will have sprint. Then he'll have sure feet. Oh, God. That's just nasty. So sure feet for me is everywhere. And it's just because I like that extra movement with my halflings. Because, again, I don't do anything with them except defend and force the other person to roll with them. That's all I try and do with the halflings. I don't try and beat people up or foul or anything. I've had people shout at me and say, why aren't you fouling? Because they're not there to foul. They're there to force that person to dodge. They're there to force that person to hit a block on you. That's what they're for, to protect your ball carrier, and that's what they should be for. So fouling is old news with halflings. Yeah. But prove me wrong. I mean, you guys, what do you guys think to that?
Yeah, no. Go on, Tom.
Go on. No, please do. You've way more experience than me.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. So I think on the fouling front, I certainly don't start off fouling with halflings.
No.
I mean, if I'm getting near the end of turn 8, I've still got a decent bench. I've got most of the team on the pitch. Then, yeah, turn 6, 7, and 8, why not? Kick somebody in the face if you can. But no, otherwise, totally right. I mean, I mark ideally plays without block with halflings, because I want to be in a position where, as you say, they've got to dodge, or they've got to roll a power against me, and because it's unlikely to do it block after block, it fancies your chances to stay on your feet. So no, I totally agree.
Good, that's good.
Yeah,
there we go. Fantastic.
That's a long-winded way of saying yes.
Yeah, this is good. Go on then, Tom. What do you think? What have you put on your guys? So as a new player, go to tournament, and we've not give you much advice.
Well, I know that, like you said, I would have put the hefty and the catcher in my team, so I'd have 7 hopefuls, and then I'd got the hefty and catcher, because it literally just makes that exact amount for the tournament. I would have, again, I know I'm putting the edge on the catcher for the Water Bowl tournament, and I've still got to look at the list for Sin City, because I've got to get my head around that. Okay. But I know I'm going to then put leader on the hefty most likely.
That's a good call.
Because it just gives me an extra reroll. And I was thinking of using him at the back to kind of pick up the ball, because his pass is a little better as well. I don't know. So this is the thing, because he's got a better pass.
I need to check something. Do hefties have stunty?
Yes, they do.
They do? Okay. I just wanted to check that.
So all that would mean is that they do have to hand the ball over still. But I know that a pass makes it worse. But if I have to madly long bomb at the end of a game, or I'm about to be swamped, then that might increase. I mean, it was just an idea. I know that the hefty has fend as well, so if they're the one who picks up the ball and then somehow someone gets past my lines to get to them, at least they've got a bit of a chance to be shoved away if they're not smashed to the floor. I don't know. Like I say, my brain is not as good as...
No, I mean, you're right to pick a hefty. You're right to pick the hefty, and you're right to give a leader. Straight up. There's nothing else. That guy's worthless. There's nothing to him, and that is, for me, all a hefty's for, is to put that extra reroll. People can prove me wrong, I'd love to, but from what my experience is, I've kept my hefty at the back, until I've used that reroll, and then sod him. I don't really give a shit. He's cannon fodder again. But you're right to do that with the hefty. As for the one turner, like you were saying, for him to pick up the ball and hand it over, you wouldn't use your hefty for that, because your hefty hasn't got enough movement. If you use your guys with the sure feet, you would use him. It gives you the extra movement. So if the ball gets kicked to an awkward angle, you can run round, give yourself that extra movement to hand it over. And if you're passing on to the catcher's got catch, he can re-roll the catch. So your catchers are always at the trees. If you know there's a one-turner that catches at the tree, you've got the re-roll for the catch, you've got that extra movement so you can move your halfling round. Hefties would never do that because you can't give them sure feet. He can, but it's not worth. If you kit out that hefty, you're going to lose a lot of skills because he's going to be a target because that reroll is massive. You need to keep just. That's again, prove me wrong. I'd like to.
So for picking up the ball, you'll just use a normal dude
with sure feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you also give any of them the on the ball skill so that it moves towards, so they're more likely to actually be on the ball by the time the ball lands? It's the one that chases the ball a little bit.
I think it bears thinking about. I mean, normally I'd say no, but because halflings are the kind of team where you may be in a position to do a one-turn attempt, then there's some merit to that, I think. But again, actually, is on the ball that much better than having sure feet? How many squares is it you can move with on the ball? I can't remember. Is it 2 or 3?
3, I think.
Yeah, maybe. But actually, across a whole game, having players with sure feet, you can use it turn after turn after turn. Whereas on the ball you don't get that much use out of it, do you? So
the basic rule is try and pick skills that you can use regularly throughout the game rather than specific ones that can only be used for very specific situations.
Well, there's strong arguments either way, but for me, it's what gives you more bang for your buck. And kick to one side, which is perhaps a skill for another podcast. If you can use that skill every other turn, then you're just getting your money's worth, aren't you? So no, I'd be up for that. I think there's obviously a lot of discussion that people can have around putting block on a halfling if you've got doubles spare, which is nice for survivability. I'd rather put it on a tree to make them a bit more reliable.
Of course.
So
because you need that strong line. I mean, if you here's another tip for people as well. If you're new to tournaments, never ever in leagues actually, never ever split your trees up. They need to be in the vicinity of within 2 squares of each other at all times. I know it sounds ridiculous, but as soon as you separate those trees, they become a target. Anyone can stick a zombie on it or a lineman, and then you've lost the tree. And then you've got to move your halflings up there. If you keep a strong line, no one's getting past the behind part of those trees, and you can kind of create this really nice, like a square, like a cage that's people would really struggle to get into. So I would always just try and keep those trees together, move them up like this. I could do it like this. Wait. That's it. So 1 tree forward, 1 tree forward, 1 tree forward, 1 tree forward, like that. And like Alistair said, stick block on them because that is just a straightforward must if you've got doubles.
So in a tournament where you only got 1 double, so say if they say you pick the edge list where you have 1 double, I'd put block on one of the trees, and I'm thinking of putting brawler on the other because it's one of their singles, because it's like a semi block in a way, and it would still give them a bit of protection when they try and bump somebody. Yeah.
Especially as well. Trees being strength 6, where you can, you want to maximise your 3 dice blocks. So when you're hitting with trees, you always want at least 1 fling in support, roll 3 dice. So if you take brawler, it gives you that little bit extra chance of rolling it both down that you can re-roll to get that power or whatever. So it's a good shout.
Good.
Cool.
I'm happy with that. So we're going to move over to league play. That is right. So this is the mixed emotion of halflings and how halfling coaches actually play league. So I've got 20 leagues under me. I've won 3 with my halflings. 3. That's right, 3. Not many people can say they've won a league with the halflings, and I've won 3. And my tip, and this is massive, and some people say no. I mean, you ask Monty. I mean, check Monty out. He is one of our Twitch stars. check Monty, he will completely shoot me down instantly. But I keep my TV lower than 730.
Oh.
That is the tip, and that is the biggest thing you could do for halflings. 730. Field, maybe 10 halflings, 2 trees, and you play online, or you play in a tabletop tournament, you're guaranteed 90%, or maybe no, I'll say 80% of the teams will be 1,200. You know, that gives you a massive leeway of 500 gold every game. That's a chef, Carla, and Puggy.
Oh.
And a wizard. You could get a wizard as well, probably, with that.
I know that me and Alistair spoke before the recording started, because we've both done a 2 list. Because of, like you say, there's 2 different types. There's a low tier and a TV and a high TV.
Yeah.
So I've gone for one. I've made one that's 1,000, and I've made one that's 635.
Perfect.
Just for. But the problem is with the low TV list. I was thinking is that with the fact that you add the chefs and everything as inducements after you've worked out who you're playing. If they've also got a low TV team, then you have no re-rolls because you then can't afford the chef.
It's rare you're going to come up unless it's another halfling team, which then
or a goblin team,
goblin team, exactly, and that will balance itself out. You know, because the goblin team won't have money for bribes. The goblin team won't have money for the stars. Then they don't have what they use to defend against the big teams. And the same with the halflings. You know, you would get. I mean, I've never come across a situation, and I've probably had about 100 and maybe 200 league games. And I mean, I've never ever come across where I've never had higher TV than anyone. I've always managed to get a chef, always,
right.
Every single time. And that's important. Is that chef, because still someone's rerolls. It makes them think more. It rattles people. It's like you're going to fail. You fail that pick up on the ball, I'm throwing, and then my turn, and I go. I tell you what. First, this happens a lot. First half, they go to pick up the ball. They failed it because I've stole all the rerolls. They fail the pick up a halfling, throw it. He lands, picks it up, runs it in. Bosh, 1-0, and it's only turn 2. What are you going to say about that, mate? Yeah. And they've done it loads. I've got to the point where I was 5-0 up. Because he kept failing to pick up. I kept throwing. I kept picking it up. And I wasn't even sorry. I was just like, unlucky, mate. Unlucky.
But it's the mind games that go with it too, isn't it? Exactly. When you know that you're sat next to somebody who's got no rerolls, they're piled up this high on your half, you go, do you want to do that first? Do you really want to do that first?
Yeah.
And in your head you're thinking, go on, do that first. But it's like, go on. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is, and that's the fun part about halflings, and that's what makes them the funnest team. They are the funniest. They're the greatest team to ever play. If you want to be serious and you really want to be top dog with halflings, don't, man. But saying that, there is some good coaches out there that are good with halflings, but you're never going to be. We don't know actually. With BB 2020. You might see halflings slowly climbing up a little bit, but not as.
No, I mean, I think with Griffin Co, obviously, there's a very strong argument that they are kind of, a good tier 2 team. Tier 1, maybe not quite.
Yeah.
But they're still pretty tasty.
Oh, definitely.
And the good thing about league play with halflings, especially brand new leagues, is that unless you come up against dwarves, no one's got tackle. Hardly anyone has got block. Some teams will have 2 blitzes with block, or maybe 4, depending on the team. Therefore, actually, you're surprisingly durable.
Yeah.
Because dodge keeps you alive. So, and even at 1200 TV, a lot of teams still aren't tackle heavy. So you can just afford, as you said earlier, to kind of mark players at the appropriate time, lose a few, but so what? Because you're building a bank anyway.
Exactly.
So,
and to start off with halflings as well, they're actually quite good. I mean, they're up there with the dwarfs. I know they don't have that much skills, but you're literally starting with a team which you'll be using the entire towards the end of the league, they do start to crumble because everyone's started to go with their teams. But if you all start fresh, halflings have a good start. I mean, I think it was the Calamitous Casual. I won 2, drew 5, and lost 2. with my halflings, but my first bunch of games were all draws. Like my first 5 games were draws, just because their teams didn't have like Alistair said, that knockout power. They didn't have that extra tackle, or the lizard men would fail a skull and a both down, and then if you're badly hurt, you're stunty. So you don't injure, you just go, you're off to the next game. You just miss next game. So you don't lose players, and they're cheap as well. So if you do die, you sack it. You just buy a new one. Just halflings are just it's the trees that you don't want to die.
Yeah, and I think that's where Blood Bowl 2020 skill progression, which is probably worth talking about, changes halflings a lot, doesn't it?
100%.
Because in league play this is, because obviously BB 2016 and everything before that, a tree levels up, a halfling levels up, it's random roll to see, well, what do they get? And you're praying for that +1 agility or a double on a tree to get block and all those good things. Now, block on a tree is guaranteed because you just save up, what is it, 6 points for your first double?
Yeah.
So 3 casualties, boom, 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 there we go. Or I can't remember now, 6 or 8 SPP for that first double. Yeah, block, lovely. It's the plus edge that is a real kick in the nuts, though, isn't it, in BB 2020? Because it's a bucket load of SPP to get a stat increase, and actually you can't choose it. So the last thing you want is to spend all that money and go, oh, good, plus AV. Yes, okay, and fire.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. That's what I was going to ask. If you do have these stars, so again, we've got the 2020 rules. I mean, anytime, and everyone shouts at me for this, but it'd be nice to see what you guys think. Is I actually fire players when they level up. If I don't get if you don't get that edge boost, I don't even, if I get a strength boost, I sack them. I just sack them left, right, centre. Any boost to my halflings, I fire them unless it's an edge boost. It's controversial. Okay. But it's too much 2v. Your TV, for me, that's what, 20 TV, 10 TV on top, sorry. So it goes up, and I can't afford that. I need to go back down.
It depends on which list you go for. If you're going for the list where you are keeping the TV as low as humanly possible to keep the star players in, then yeah, it makes complete sense. If you're going for the full amount where you're not going for stars and you're just bring in basically a halfling team, then I would say probably look towards more, because you're not that fussed whether you've got maybe 50 TV more than anyone else or whatever. But if you're trying the leanest team in the world, yeah, it makes sense to fire. Unless they've got a skill you really want.
I would still try and make the odd specialist player, I think. So I would save up the points for a double and a halfling and give one of them wrestle. Because then you've got a cage breaker. Yeah. You know, you've got someone who you can run in there, 2 dice uphill, and we've all seen how often that works. You know,
it works.
Yeah. So I would do that. Any regular halfling who levels up, if I'm not that fussed, I would just do the it's 3 SPP to begin with, for the random skill, isn't it? So which is cheaper TV as well. So I would always do the random ones to begin with, I think. And if I rolled Sure Feet, I don't know, in fact, that's right. Yeah, Sure Feet is an agility skill. So if I rolled that and had it for half price, I would probably keep them. I might consider doing the same if I had sidestep on one, but anything else, I would fire them. I used to quite like diving tackle and having a couple of diving tacklers, but now they've changed the rules on diving tackle.
I was going to say, yeah.
I'd bin it off.
Yeah. Diving tackle used to be fantastic. I mean, I took diving tackle to the World Cup. I took 3 halflings with diving tackle, and I came up to, luckily, with 2 ogre teams and a Skaven team, and they did not like my diving tackle. It was lovely, but I wouldn't take it now. I definitely would just stay clear.
Not anymore.
Again, for me, my halflings just if I was going to keep a boosted team, it is all about the speed for me. But this always depends on your style of play. If you're a bashy player, then you could go down the road of block. I don't know. I'm a bit skeptic when it comes to block, but wrestle's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant on a halfling. Sidesteps on arsehole. People hate that, and sidestep's just not nice at all. It can mess things up. But I'm a sure feet guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure about it.
I think the only halfling I'd consider putting block on now is probably a catcher.
Yeah.
Because if you can chuck one downfield, he either fluffs the pickup or he doesn't quite make the goal line. Then having a blodger with the ball becomes, a lot more effective, because the opposition are thinking, oh, shit, am I going to knock this guy down?
Yeah, exactly. And then they're dodging this stunty, so then no matter how many players they've put around them.
Yeah.
But then if you can get them near the line and you've got sidestep, the point where they struggle to work out how to knock you, that if you do stay on your feet, you don't get knocked into the touchdown zone. Because I've had it recently where I've been playing, I've got one of my gutter runners on the computer that's got fend and sure feet. Sorry, not sure feet, sidestep. And you just end up putting them right next to the line. And if they do want to hit you, they end up knocking you, and you can then either choose to score a touchdown or not, because they just dodged it and you've just knocked you into the touchdown area. So unless they can get right round you to knock you back down, even then you can sidestep your way back into the touchdown zone.
Yeah. I mean, that is, again, could you say it's situational? No, it's not, because it happens. That will happen quite a lot. If you're throwing your catchers down the field and he doesn't make it, you'll be surprised how many times, especially when you play someone like Alan, who just says, I'm just going to throw a halfling. And you're like, well, why? And it's just, I don't know, just fucking throw it. And he throws them, and it works. I don't know how he does it, but it works. I mean, he beat somebody at the water bowl 4-1, I think it was, and that's just because he just fucking threw him. He was like, I'm just gonna one turner. All right then. Did it. I did it. And that's the thing with halflings, is that anyone can pick them up. Anyone can start throwing one turners. But
exactly, it's that 1 in 6 chance, isn't it? I mean, I go back to that game where I played you at Bane Bowl. So, right, I was Nurgle, you were halflings. Both your stars were off the pitch. Both your trees were rooted. I had your cage completely surrounded. I had 4 players in deep cover in case you threw somebody. I had disturbing presence everywhere. You still said, I'm going to chuck them.
Hey, if you've got nothing to lose, that is the point. If you've got nothing to lose, then what?
1 to 5 was a fumble, and you rolled a 6.
Yeah.
And a little bugger landed in space, despite my cover, and then you ran in the score. It's like, you little shitbag. But that's the game, isn't it? That is the game where you think, statistically, I've got this. But screw statistics. I mean, because you play for the magic of the 6. Exactly. And when that 6 happens, it creates a much better story.
Exactly. Yeah. And the best advice that I've ever got in a Blood Bowl tournament was, and this was at my first tournament, and he tells it to everybody, and he turned around, I'm not going to say who, but he knows who. Cheers, mate. He turned around to me and said, the trick to Blood Bowl is knowing when to roll bullshit. And that is the tip. And it's like, I tell you what, ever since he told me that, I was like, that makes sense. It's like, I'm losing. I've got nothing to do. He's going to score. I need to do something ridiculous. 8 out of 10 times, it's not going to work. Those 2 times, though.
It
does. And it does work. It sounds ridiculous. I mean, I played a game on last Wednesday, and my halfling had to score, and he had to do a sure feet roll, he had to do a dodge roll, and his go for it. And it was, I think it turned out it was a dodge roll in every single turn. So it was like dodge, 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 go for it, dodge, 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 go for it, goes in, and he did it. And I was just like, and people fucking hate you for it. But then you kind of think,
yeah, but you can't do it unless you try and do it.
Exactly.
Always get balls, you have to say, you know what, I've got nothing to lose. And that's why I love the game. It's that whole risk profile that you might start off with certain levels of caution. Mm-hmm. But as the game, if it starts to turn against you, it's at what point do you then start throwing caution to the wind and saying, you know what, screw it, let's just roll some dice. I'm going to lose this anyway, unless. And then you hang on those unlesses, don't you? It's awesome.
Exactly. That is so good. And that is the best way to put it. And Tom, that's the best advice you're going to get from us.
Yeah, I think the thing it ends up being is
So
would you rather
enthusiastic.
be skillful at something or unlucky. I mean, lucky. Which is going to be better for you? Is it better to be lucky or to be skillful in Blood Bowl?
Well, that's a tough one. Yeah, you need to be good.
Look, I mean, everybody's been
I'm going on
beaten
luck.
by someone. Yeah, I mean, we've all played games where you sat across from someone thinking, I know I'm better than you, yet how am I 3-0 down?
Yeah.
I mean, because it
Our
happens. Yeah, well, yeah, I was thinking.
Like, people do it to me all the time. Like, sit there and like, this happens at tournaments. I'm not joking, and they know they're thinking it. And I sit down and they go, "Oh, play League by these halflings," and you think I sit there and go, "Right, you fucking arsehole, right, you're having this," and then I start winning, and then I sit there and smirking. And I remember there was one guy, again, I'm not going to say who, Graham, and he was playing his wood elves at the NAF, and and he was so cocky and happy about it, and it got to a point I was winning 1-0, right? And it got to the point where he was shaking like that, moving his players. He was going, where did I move it? Because he was like, I'm Wood Elves and I'm losing to Liam, and it's, you know, I lost.
But Blood Bowl can punish arrogance, can't it? It really can.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I played a game at a tournament in Wales once, and I was chasing the most casualty award. So, as I sometimes do, I was playing humans with the Zug build, a block ogre, and 4 mighty blow blitzers. Because I thought, great, I'm just going to try and, I'm not going to try and win the event to be nice if I do, but I'm going to mash people. First round, I draw halflings. We sit down, and I apologise to to the guy for what I was about to do to his team, because I'm thinking I've got 6 people with block and mighty blow. Blind luck in turn 16 gave me a draw. He did more casualties than I did. I think I did two fling casualties in the entire game. He was a lovely guy, and afterwards I had to apologise to say, you know what? Probably came across as being a bit of a twat when I first sat down. I didn't entirely mean to, but I just looked at your team and mine and thought, well, most casualty award, hello. And Nuffle was obviously listening and going, no.
I love that. Yeah. That is so good. And that's the good thing. But like, as halflings, I mean, this is why I love them so much, and this is why they're my favourite team, and this is why I wanted to be like, I wanted the first tactics to be halflings, because if you're new to the game and if you're going to be playing Blood Bowl and you bought most people that are new to this game are buying halflings because they like the models, and no one's gone out and actually played them yet. So this is going to be really good for you to watch this video. And Blood Bowl is fun, and Blood Bowl is amazing. If you start using the other teams, it gets serious, and sometimes it's not. Or you can make it fun. It depends how you look at it. But with halflings, it's always fun. You can take it seriously, but then you realise, I'm halflings, why am I taking it seriously? And it goes back to fun. And and this is why they're the greatest team in Blood Bowl. They're the most fun to play. They give you the most memories. I mean, most people sit there and go, "Oh, I played this one halfling coach once," and like, everybody's got a halfling story. Every single person's got a halfling story. I played someone and pitch cleared them. A chaos team. I pitch cleared a chaos team of halflings. I was like triple skull uphill. Fuck it. I felt really bad. Killed him. Like, oh my god, couldn't stop laughing. I was crying. I got told off by the store manager because it was like, Liam, you need to calm down a little bit. I was like, I can't.
He's only 6.
Can't. Yeah. You roll a triple uphill and kill someone.
Outside, it's going to sort you out.
Stop the 6-year-old. His dad's getting cross.
Yeah. I think he's bigger than you.
But that happened at the water bowl. There was that little kid who was like, I played halflings, amazing. You're going to so die, and I beat him 5-1.
So it is a thing about destroying children, really. And then...
Oh no, there was another. Yeah, there's another one. A kid, but you have to teach them lessons. Halflings are good. You can't just say, "Oh, halflings are crap" because someone's told you. No, mate, halflings aren't crap. Trust me. There you go. So yeah, but that's awesome. So yeah, sorry.
One random question: how does block work with wrestle? Because both of them are.
What a newbie question.
I know it's completely.
I love it. No, it's good.
because I'm like, well, if you both got block or you both got wrestle and both, then you either choose just to both go pro. I mean, that helps if you've got the ball. But you either both go prone or nothing happens.
It doesn't matter if you've both got wrestle because you're hitting them with wrestle, so you would both fall down. Block you roll for armor and wrestle you don't.
Right.
Yeah,
but is there a point to have both really on one player?
It's overkill, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you've got block and wrestle, it's a bit like having. Well, what does the wrestle really do for you? It knocks down somebody else who's got block and puts you down as well, which is great for hitting the ball. But I'd sooner take block and tackle. I think it's more effective.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love block and tackle. I've got it on both my blitz.
Wrestle and tackle, I think, is arguably if it's just a ball hound, then I think wrestle and tackle's better than block and tackle. But yeah.
See, for me, I would never. It's rare. I would take wrestle. I only take it on certain teams, and I would only take wrestle for my ghouls in an undead team, just because anything that's armor 7 and lower, I wouldn't put block on them. I would put wrestle, just for the fact that I can knock them on their arse, and without my armor roll breaking.
Yeah, my gutter runners wrestle over block.
That depends. Some people are different. I mean. That's what.
I just thought it seemed a bit weird having both on the same player.
I would never put it. To me, I would say that's a noob mistake.
Good. Okay, that's why I'm falling for it yet. So that's fine.
Yeah, one of the podcasts that did a tactics thing said block and wrestle is really good. It's not.
I think I heard it on that. That's probably why it got in my head, but I didn't think it made sense.
If anyone's telling you to take block and wrestle, block does the job and it does the armor roll. Wrestle knocks them over, so you don't need both. It's a waste of skill, and you're adding TV to your team. There's no need to have both. But
okay, I was just making sure because my Skaven have got wrestle, but my gutter runners have got wrestle.
Tom, stop watching that. Stop watching that podcast. They're filling your head up with shit. They're just idiots. Like, they're not idiots. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. They're not idiots. They're just morons. They're just. They're not. They're just.
At least you haven't mentioned them this time.
It's because it's because they're not. It's not them. It's that you can just see the. It's like I felt really bad. There was a guy on the Blood Bowl community, and he put on a team, and he took. It was the Chaos Pact team, and so they told him to take an ogre and a troll, and 4 rerolls and not take the Minotaur. And I was like, no. What do you think about that, Alistair? I mean, a Chaos Pact team, 4 rerolls, no Minotaur, no thrower, just lineman as well.
If you're going to play packs, the point is you want the big guys because they're another fun team. They're not highly competitive packed because for all the big guys, all those negative traits that go with it, and their starting human linemen have no skills. So but the joy of the thing is 3 big guys.
Exactly. You need 3. Exactly. You need 3. 2 rerolls and the Minotaur. There you go. So that's what I'm saying, Tom. It's a shame because they are nice guys and the podcast is really good. I'm not going to push them out there, but the podcast is really good. They're just some of the advice isn't good. But if you're new, go ahead. But again, I always say if you really want to get deep into it, don't listen to us. Listen to Andy Davo and Kay Fogged. And Joe Manji as well. He's pretty damn good as well. So if you want to check out some of his stuff, they're really good. If you want the middle stuff like us, check out J Bone at Double Schools. Check out his streams and check out us. If you want lower stuff and you're a complete beginner, check out us as well.
Well, you've got me in it. So I ask all the dumb questions for them.
If you like special effects and crap team builds, and check out that other place. At least it makes your team roster look pretty.
Oh no, you started it again.
I'm shutting up. But that's Halflings anyway. And feel free, guys, if you want to talk to us about Halflings, You know, we are all, luckily for Two Drunk Flings, we have people all over the world. So we've got Monty in Australia, we've got James in Florida, we've got Mark in Vegas. So there's actually, and we've got the new guy Mark, Jean-Marc, we've got Alistair here. If you want to talk to us individually, just let's say, can I speak to Liam or Alistair or Tom, and we'll forward your message over to them, and we'll chat. We love to sit there, talk Blood Bowl. We this is what we're here for. If you're suffering from depression or anything as well, you know, I have actually a couple of guys who messaged me just saying, I just want to talk. And I've become good friends with them. I'm talking. So if you ever want to talk Blood Bowl, if you want to talk rubbish, you know, please PM us. Please PM us. If you want to know or more about halflings and tactics, please comment below, message us, or you know, we're willing to. There's someone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to talk to, and we are always around. And you know, and we love discussing Blood Bowl, and we'll help if you've got a tournament coming up and you need help with your roster. Message us. We'll sort it out and we'll talk you through it, and you know, we'll find your game style, and we'll, you know, it's what we do best. So please message us. We are going to call it at that because Tom's got to go and make his dinner. Is that right, Tom?
No, I've got to go get the food shoppings coming in a minute.
What an eventful Saturday. It used to be going to Blood Bowl tournaments. Now we are waiting for the shopping. Just sat at the door. That's how thrilling things are at the moment.
I can't wait for the first tournament for Water Bowl.
My first tournament's in June, Barbecue Bowl, so I haven't got that much longer to go. So, what about you, Alistair? What's your next one?
I don't know. I'm running a couple.
Yes.
So, but actually playing in, it'll be Thrud, I think. So,
oh, wow. Okay.
Thrud and Snoppings. So,
awesome.
yeah.
I think we're all going to Thrud. Tom, you go to Thrud?
I'm not going to Thrud. I'm going to Sin City.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, we're all
I understand.
I might not go Sin City. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Liam, you're going to be stressed.
Mate, it's so busy at the minute. We've got we've got a projectionist, and we've got a projection, like a projector, and we've got like videos to play between games, and we've got like intros and little firework display, and we've got like Elvis. We've got. It's going to be a mad day. We've got Alistair now, who is again, he's going to be part of the Two Drunk Flings now. We're going to be doing a massive welcome Alistair thing. He doesn't know this yet, but we're going to do a welcome Alistair thing on the next podcast episode. So Alistair's going to be helping us with our tournaments. He's going to be helping with tournament builds. He's going to be helping other people with tournament builds, and he also does the Gazette. Please go on and tell everybody about the Gazette.
Okay, so the Gridiron Gazette, for anyone that's not seen or heard of it, it's on the naf.net, and I guess it's the combination of my lockdown project. So at the start of lockdown, I bought and read every Blood Bowl thing that was in print. I think I have every White Dwarf, everything they've ever printed, every version of it. I've got it. I read it, and anything fluff related in a really dull fashion, I put it in a one monster spreadsheet. And then what I've been doing since then is to turn that into a monthly newspaper article. So the Gridiron Gazette is one a month. Like I said, we've published 5 issues now, and they feature various races. So the last one was dwarves, the next one is Skaven, and then there'll be irregular themed ones as well. So the last themed one we did was about the NAF record books and all the records that were broken. And in about 3 months, the next themed one will be about magic in Blood Bowl. So
Amazing.
It's just me kind of collecting together every odd little fact about every player, every race, and then trying to bundle it into some kind of coherent, I don't know, thing that makes sense with
awesome.
Mixed results.
It's so good. I mean, I've had a good read, and it is amazing. And if I'm honest, to me, they're quite short, even though they're quite long. They're quite short for me, so I want to read more and more and more. So please check it out. I mean, if you want to, there is links in our page below, on the Two Drunk Flings Facebook page. But we will, if you do want to have the link, or if you can't find it, just message us and we'll put you forward for it. And if you want to ask Alistair any questions again, please PM us or PM and ask for Alistair, and he'll be able to help. We do want to shout out to our sponsors Grebo and Punga and everybody else, to JB Fancy Fields, Maelstrom Gaming Mats, I'm going to be missing more, but who cares? Dan at Tyrant Tavern Painting, who's got videos as well, who's doing a lot of Blood Bowl painting. So if you want to get into Blood Bowl and you want to see the painting, we have got those videos as well. Again, PM us and we'll send you and we'll forward you over. We've got Tom going to be doing some unboxings.
Yeah, I've got a couple already on its way over. Star Player Miniatures have sent some stuff, and I'm hoping to get some more shortly too, and getting some unboxings done.
Excellent. And we will do the next vodcast. That will be on Thrud. We'll be building...
Go away!
We will be building teams for Thrud, and we'll be discussing Thrud, and we will have Simon or Andy Thor or someone from Thrud to discuss the charity and everything that happens. So stay tuned for that episode. And we would also want to say stay tuned to our Fling Nation Halfling team, which is coming out soon. The Kickstarter's going to be in July. We have currently just nearly finished this tree. Well, we're not even finished Tree 1 yet, but Tree 2 has been built. And we've got another, it's going to be a full 16-man team with stars and everything like that as well. It is not Blood Bowl for GW purposes. It is a War Ball team, and it will be Picnic Bowl or whatever we're going to call it, and it is a Picnic Bowl team. So yes, and again, if you guys, we've actually had quite a few interests. If you do want to play Picnic Ball, if you want to play Picnic Ball, it is a free game from us. We created it, and it is all you do is just download the rules, and the pitches have got it's got a downloadable link. You can download the pitch, print it off, use any team you want, any players you want, create your own team, and it is a free board game.
Can I use Griff?
It would be Biff. If it was in that for legal reasons, it'd be Biff. No, that's Back to the Future. So it would be Sniff. Just Sniff. So yeah,
that's Aspen's name, isn't it?
Sounds like a druggie, doesn't it? Sounds like Sniff Up Road. You know Sniff, number 10. Yeah. Everyone's got a sniff on their street.
Right.
Or is that just me? Is that Derby? I don't know.
Yeah. What's the bad in
We've all got a sniff.
I look forward to when I sleep over at yours, Liam.
Okay. On that note, we're going. So yeah, honestly, but thank you, Alistair, for joining us. Alistair's going to be joining us a lot more, and thank you, Tom, as always, and thank you, Liam.
Thank you, Liam. We love you.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much, guys. And yeah, thank you, everybody who's watched the video, if you've made it this far. And we're going to be doing a lot more. But again, please PM us for anything you want. And, we're here. Thank you.
Cool. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.